Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I've got an interesting video for you today. We're going to talk about another offering from Cyansky today. This is a headlamp. This is model HS5R. This one has red and white LEDs. It's got a magnetic tail cap, USB-C charging, and all metal design. It puts out 200 meters of throw, 1300 lumens, and an impressive 220 hours of runtime. That's 9.16 days. That's a long time. Now on the side of the packaging, you can see that it's impact resistant down to 2 meters, IPX8 down to 2 meters. It passes all of these certifications for CE, WEEE, and the FCC, and it's also included with an 18650 lithium-ion rechargeable battery. And then on the other side, you can see some more of the specs that I mentioned briefly. 1300 lumens, 220 hours of runtime, 200 meters of throw, and a 10,000 candela rating of intensity. So looking at the back of the package, here are some specifications and technical parameters. Feel free to pause your screen if this is information that you want to read a little bit longer. I'm going to be talking about all this stuff in this video today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just open this whole package up and let's see what's included when we purchase one of these lights. So right here, right off the bat, you can see that they include a warranty card for Cyansky. The next thing that you see is the user manual. Okay, so we'll just flip it over here and get to the English portion right there. Again, the pause button could be your friend. And while you're watching this video, please, if you like the type of things that you see on my channel and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. Those types of things really help me out as a YouTuber because I am doing this full time. And with all of that, let's take a further look now. So we have a USB-A or USB 2.0 to a USB-C. So this is for the charging of the battery. So very nice that they include that with this light. As you can see, everything came packaged very well. And look at this, right off the bat, dual direction pocket clip is included with the light. Very cool, because I've reviewed some headlamps recently that did not include a pocket clip. So it's nice that Cyansky put that in there. 2 replacement tail cap O-rings. So these are what keeps that IPX8 waterproof standard, which I'll talk about in this video. Here is a little pad, and it's got a little sticky, 3M sticky on it. So that's a pad for the head strap. And that pad, I believe, goes right here if you need more padding. So you can see that the head strap itself is very thick. That's thicker than most head straps. Very nice. Nice adjustment place there. I like that. It's going to really disperse the weight of the light. And for an 18650, this thing is small. Very, very small. And if you look, there's a stainless steel piece here and stainless steel metal that holds the light onto the head strap. Now you'll see this little card right here. It's basically telling us charge the flashlight before you use it. So very cool. You can charge it right here on the light. You take that charge port cover off and that exposes the USB-C charging port. I personally am not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. I like it when they have batteries that have the charging on the batteries. So we're going to go ahead and remove this tail cap, which is magnetic. We're going to remove the tail cap. We'll take a look at that build. It looks like a nice, simple tail cap build. You'll also notice at this point there is an insulation film. You got to take that off, otherwise the light will never work. So right here we're going to pop out that 18650 lithium-ion rechargeable battery. 2600 milliamp hour of capacity. If you want to put a hotter battery in there that's going to last a little longer, maybe like a 3400, you can do that, because this is a standard non-proprietary 18650 battery. So very nice that they have that. Positive there, negative there. So it's a very straightforward battery. And looking inside the battery tube, you can see something that I really like down in there. There is a spring down inside the battery tube. So that's cool, because that means when you insert the battery, putting the positive towards the head of the light, you have a little bit of play there. So when this thing gets dropped or something like that, it's that play that keeps things from falling apart and breaking. So as we tighten the tail cap over this O-ring, it's going to smash that O-ring, creating that IPX8 waterproof standard. So right here is the power switch. Now to turn the light on, we're just going to push and hold this side switch, and you'll see the light comes on. And from here, if we want to cycle through the modes, we'll just push the button, push it again, and that's how we cycle. So right there, we're looking at low. That's 30 lumens. That'll give us 18 hours of runtime, 31 meters of throw, 240 on the candela. Push it again, we're going to get medium. That's 150 lumens for 12 hours, 75 meters of throw, 1406 on the candela. Push it again, we're on high now. This is 450 lumens for 2.5 hours. This produces 122 meters of throw, 3721 on the candela. And then we do one more and we'll bump up to turbo, 1300 lumens for 2 hours. That's impressive. 200 meters of throw, and like we said earlier, 10,000 on the candela. Now if I push and hold the button for a couple of seconds, you'll see that we go into that secondary setting. Right now we're in economy. This is 3 lumens for 220 hours. Again, to get here, it was a long press, at least 1.5 seconds. This is going to put out 5 meters of throw with a candela of 6. Push the button again, we're going to get this red flash. This is 10 lumens for 50 hours, 2.08 days. Now if I push it one more time, we're going to get just solid red. Very, very cool. 10 lumens for 25 hours of runtime. Single press brings us back to economy, and then again a long press will turn the light off. And to turn the light back on, we're just going to push and hold. We're going to keep holding, and now we'll be back on our normal settings: low, medium, high, and turbo. So this light does have a memory. So right now I'm on low. If I push to turn the light off, and then I push to turn the light, let me hold that a little longer, to turn it back on, you'll see that it remembers that we were on low. Let's say we're on high. Let's say we like that setting. We push to turn it off, and then again push to turn it on. We're going to come right back to that setting. So it's very, very cool that the light does that. Personally, I like leaving it on low, so I'll push and hold. And the same thing applies for when we're going to go into economy. So if we just keep holding, you see that we're now in economy. If I push and hold to turn it off, and then I push to turn the light back on, it'll come right back to economy. So it'll remember a lot of these settings. This light does not have a strobe. It does not have an SOS mode or anything like that. So it's a very, very cool, intuitive little light. I like the economy that it has on it. Now, if we want to talk about the dimensions of the light, we are looking at 92 millimeters long, 23 millimeters at the body, 28 millimeters at the head. Underneath this TIR optic lens, there is a luminous SFT40 LED. You can operate this light on the single 18650 like what we've seen in this video, or you can run this with dual CR123s. I thought that was very, very cool. The working temperature for this light is -30 centigrade all the way up to 50 degrees centigrade. If we want to look at that temperature in Fahrenheit, that's -22 degrees all the way up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So this light, me living in Arizona, I'm not going to have any problems operating this light in Arizona. The weight of this light, as you see it here with the battery and everything, it's 136 grams. Very, very cool. The USB-C charge port right here to fully charge this thing from pretty much dead all the way to full takes about 2 hours. Now let me turn the light on again, and we're going to talk about this power level indicator. This, when I turn the light on, this is going to illuminate for about 3 seconds, and then it's going to turn off. You saw that it was flashing green. Let me back up a step and talk about solid green. If you see solid green, we're between 81 and 100%. You saw the flashing green, so that means we're between 51 and 80%. If it goes to solid red, we'll be between 21 and 50% of the battery life. And then of course, if you see flashing red on that power level indicator, we are between 0 and 20. And at that point, it's time to charge this light, which is very easy to do. Now this stainless steel clip can be taken off, and you could take the light off of the head strap. It's a little bit difficult to do because this stainless steel clip is very tight. It's kind of a toughie to get this out. I had to take a flathead screwdriver and kind of push this thing down. It does have excellent retention. Personally, I like the rubber things better. They seem to be a little easier to work with, but this is not going to break on you. So it's very cool that they did that. So at this point, you can take the pocket clip and you could slap that right on the light just like that. And if you had maybe a backpack or something, you got a strap, you could put that on, and you could put this on the backpack and have light like a right angle flashlight. And again, this tail cap here, it is magnetic. See that? It sticks. It's a magnetic tail cap. See, it's holding that stainless steel thing there. I just want to show this thing one more time, switching from the normal modes, which is low, medium, high, and turbo, to the economy, red, and red flashing. It's very simple. So again, to turn the light on, you just push and hold for a few seconds. And then when the light's on, you just push and hold. And you'll see it change over. Now we're back to low. Push and hold again, we're back to economy. So it's very, very easy to switch between standard operation and the economy, the economy red and flashing red. It's very easy to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and pour some water here. We're going to test the IPX8 waterproofness of this headlight. We're going to get our little bit of water. We're going to turn the light on. Make sure that the charge port cover is in place, and then drop the light in the water. So you can see that we are underwater completely. And then if you want to push the button and cycle through the modes, there's medium, there's high, there's turbo, back to low, long press to bring it over to the economy. There's the red flash, there is the red, back to economy, long press. We're going to just come back to low, and as you could see, this light passed the IPX8 waterproof testing with flying colors. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look, and I will press. We are on low. I'm not going to talk about the run times and lumen levels and all that. If you want to refer back to that information, please rewind the video and go back to that section. But that's what low looks like. There's medium, very good pattern. There's high, very, very nice. And there is turbo. So this light puts out a lot of light. Single press brings us back to low. And then again, if I push and hold, we're going to bump up to economy. So this is a good setting. It's going to give us tons of battery life. And then even off in the distance, I can see a little bit of what's going on down there, a little bit. But it's really good for things like this, maybe reading a book in a tent, or reading a label, or trying to find a splinter, a wound, first aid, stuff like that. Side of the road, maybe you're changing a tire, something like that. Single press, we're going to see the red flashing. I don't know how good the camera is justifying this. If you're broke down on the side of the road, this is good to let people know, you know, when they come around that curve, they're not going to run into your vehicle. Single press again brings us back to just a solid red. So if you're trying to preserve night vision, this is a good setting for that. And then again, another single press brings us right back to that economy. And like I said, this does have a memory. So if I turn the light off and then I turn the light back on, it will come back to economy. Now, if I want to go back to my normal settings, like I mentioned, we're just going to push and hold, and we will come back to low. There's medium, there's high, and then there's turbo. So very, very cool. back to low, and then again turn the light off, and then when I turn it back on, look at that, the green power level indicator flashing, so it's telling me the status of the battery in real time. So hopefully you enjoyed those night shots. My final thoughts on this light are very simple. When it comes to the head strap, I prefer things like this rubber, you know, to put a flashlight in. I think they're better. They're easier to manage rather, but they do break over time. So if you want something that is not gonna break, the Cyansky has done a really good job. These are nice. Like I said, they're easy to manage, they're soft on the head, but when I wore this on my head, it was very, very comfortable. So the retention is very tight, but I think it's worth it because it's not going to break on you. Another thing is when you talk about the size of the light, this light is tiny. If we look at another 18650 light, this is the Olight Perrin. Look at the size difference between these two. This thing is like 3/4 of an inch shorter. I'm just guessing, but that's a much smaller light, still operating on an 18650 platform. The weight of it is a lot smaller too. The Olight Perrin is a fantastic headlamp too, by the way. But I like what they're doing with this Cyansky. Now, I'm not a big fan of, like I mentioned, this charging on the light itself. I don't like that because if that flap gets damaged or is not in place, I think that could compromise the IPX8 waterproofness. Now, I also noticed that they did not include a spare charge port cover. If you look at the Perrin, it doesn't have any of that. There's no charge port covers or anything like that to worry about, so you don't have to worry about when you jump in the water with this thing, you don't have to worry about it. But the size and weight of this Cyansky is absolutely fantastic. That is wonderful. Another thing that comes to mind is the head strap. Look at the thickness of the head strap. Now, I made note of that earlier. This is almost twice as thick. I mean, you're looking at what, 1 inch on the Olight and maybe 1.5 inches on the Cyansky. That is a big difference. What's cool about that is it distributes the load of the light on your head. So it's a very, very comfortable headlamp to wear. And when you're dealing with something that's not even that heavy to begin with, and you add this extra comfort, it makes it where you almost don't even notice that you're wearing it. So folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video, taking a look at the Cyansky HS5R. Please make sure that you're checking the description box down below if you're interested in this light. And also feel free to drop comments down below, like this video, share this video, and until next time, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.